What's going on, world? DS1 Ross. Now I'm back. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everyone who support me, DS1 Ross, and this platform, SHEEPSTAYSLEEPTV. I appreciate y'all. We got another one tonight, y'all. Um, like I said last night, bring my brother Javen back for part two. And I will be postponing the Saturday Night Live till tomorrow. So y'all be ready for that tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern time, right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. I will be doing a Sunday Night Live, open panel for anybody who want to get on, and it's just an open panel for anyone who supports me and want to get on, and we just talk about whatever. It's pretty much fun. It's open topic, it's based on how the conversation flows. So we will be doing that tomorrow. You know, if you coming through, make sure you hit the like button if you can. Share the show. I see I got my brother Javen already on. We gonna get the people a little minute to come through, and we gonna get this thing popping. So I appreciate all y'all. Of course, like I said, hit the like button, share the show. Also, if you appreciate my content, don't hesitate to donate. You know, don't hesitate to donate. So I appreciate y'all. Shout out to the chat room. I'll get to the chat room in a minute. Also, my the health awareness series will be coming really, really soon. I'm still reaching out to some people, but that's coming real soon. Make sure y'all go check out that debate between Brother Polite and Chief X. They debated on health. It was a great debate. It was a great debate. I watched it. Um, the debate was about um meat, a meat diet versus a plant-based diet. It's a good debate. You know, I definitely feel like they both made good points, but I feel like at the end of the day, you know, Chief X lost. And he lost because he used information from doctors, but he didn't know or understand the scientific information behind what the doctors were saying. And Polite was able to debunk that shit. And he was using science to back up his claims. He wasn't just using what other people say. He just wasn't reading, what reputable websites and shit like that say. So I definitely get that one to Polite for sure. For sure, for sure. So y'all go check that out. That was a good debate. And that ties right into the health series that I'm about to put up for y'all. So like I said, just stay tuned for that. Shout out to the chat room. Once again, what's going on, Javen? You there, bro?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here, bro. I'm here. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Let me know if you hear like some other noise in the background or something like that, because people still out here partying. It's a nice day out here.
Facts,
Like even
facts.
though it's night, it's still nice. So let me know, and I'll just move to somewhere else. If you hear like kids or anything like that.
All right, cool, cool, cool. But before we get into it, did you see that debate that I was just talking about?
Nah, I didn't see it. I heard Chief X lost, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah, watch it, bro. It's a good debate and it's not boring. You know, because you know Chief X, he very funny. He a funny motherfucker. He get all hype and start screaming and being all dramatic. So it was interesting.
Yeah, I
You
know
know,
Chief X. I know he was trying to come at me a couple of weeks ago, but he didn't really want that smoke like that
mm,
because he was trying to come at me over this ADOS stuff, and I was like, listen, you don't even know what this is really even about, but you just read it from a piece of paper that you don't even understand. But that's cool. I'm
facts,
like, whenever you're ready to see me, you can see me.
right? Because he definitely is pushing the ADOS shit too, and he jumped on it out of nowhere too. Because in the beginning, like I thought Chief X was the type of guy, that was on some, you know, letting people know that a lot of shit is bullshit. So when he jumped on the whole ADOS shit, that shit kind of threw me off.
Cause he another unprincipled nigga who saw that the shit was picking up steam, and he saw that it had some energy to it, so he wanted to dick ride it for clout, like a lot of niggas who trying to ease their way out of it now because they could see, because that ties in right to what we talking about with Joe Biden. When the last time you heard somebody talk about reparations? When the last time you heard somebody talk about HR 40, bro?
It's been a long time, a
And
long.
you And you know why it's a long time? Because one, a lot of the biggest people who was promoting it, like Tariq Nasheed, wasn't really serious about it. He was just doing it for clout and views. And the people who was really, really pushing it, even though they wasn't really about that, but they was just trying to, derail other people, like Yvette Carnell and them, they not pushing it no more because like what I said was gonna happen happened. I said y'all gonna keep pushing this reparations bullshit, and the Democrats are gonna see that these people are tanking, and they're gonna bring out Joe Biden. Now they're gonna bring out somebody else. They're gonna bring out Joe Biden. Now Joe Biden is out here. It look like Joe Biden gonna get the nomination. Niggas know better than to ask Joe Biden for reparations, and ain't no better than to ask Trump for reparations. So reparations 2020 is dead. Ain't no reparations coming in 2020. Joe Biden's going to get the Democratic nominee for president. Trump, he's going to be running against Trump, who's the incumbent for the Republicans. So who you going to pose this reparations question to? Nobody. It's over. It's dead. Like I said, it was going to die before 2020. The ADOS movement is going to be officially dead in 2020. But the whole reparations talk died in 2019, just like I said it was. Just like I said it was.
Yeah, you did. You did. You definitely told the brother Mercy. Shout out to Mercy L. You definitely was telling him that. So why don't you go back a little bit and talk about you know what you was kind of trying to get people to understand about Joe Biden. Break that
One,
down for him, bro.
all right. We got to go back to 2006, 15. I think 15, 16. Can we do that? Can I start there?
Facts. You go back as far as you want, bro.
We're gonna start there. One, that's when Joe Biden was leaving office because remember he was Obama's vice president, so he was leaving. You notice Joe Biden didn't run for president, and it's normal for the vice president to run for president after the president leaves. If he get 2 terms, the vice president usually come and run for office. Joe Biden didn't run. Why didn't he run? Because Joe Biden was officially being pushed out of politics. Like they had anointed Hillary Clinton as the nominee back in 2008. Joe Biden wanted to run, but he already saw the wave was against him, so he fell back. Now we're gonna switch it to Hillary Clinton. What was going on with Hillary Clinton? The big story with Hillary Clinton when she was running against Trump was what? The 94 crime bill, which I at the time was the only one, and I was the only one for years telling people that Hillary Clinton didn't write the 94 crime bill. She didn't vote for it. What y'all saw was a clip that somebody took out of context. She did call people super predators. Not going to say she didn't, but that clip that was going around that started this whole Hillary Clinton did the the 1994 crime bill, that was completely taken out of context. And I kept telling people, I said it wasn't Hillary Clinton, it was Joe Biden. It was Joe Biden who did it. And Joe Biden is unapologetic about it. I was the first person to show people clips of Joe Biden when he was being asked about the 94 crime bill, when Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton was catching all this heat, and he was saying he unapologetic about it. He said he will not apologize for it. It was a good bill. And I kept telling people, I said, y'all falling for Russian propaganda. That's the bot situation. Because actually it was Bernie Sanders people who started that. And the Russian bots picked it up and spread it to the masses, particularly to black people, to get black people to not come out hoping that they can excuse me, derail enough black people and deter enough black people from coming out to vote for Hillary so Trump would win. And it was mainly about making sure Hillary lost more than Trump winning. Now we fast forward to 2018. I told people, I said, Trump has lost. I said, when Trump lost in 2016, I said, the racist, I'll say this, the openly racist or hostile wing of the Democratic Party that was against black people, they starting to make a comeback or people who want to get that racist white vote, they started making a comeback when Trump won. They said, see, this is the proof. We got to get rid of this identity politics stuff, aka stop talking about the black stuff. That's when Bernie Sanders put out the tweet in 2016 talking about, oh, the Democratic Party has changed so much. This ain't the Democratic Party my family could have voted for. And he was talking about, and I told people, I said 2018 is the midterm. They ran record numbers of black candidates and everything. And he was like, they doing this to try to get the black vote. I told people, I said, and if they don't get the wins that they looking for, it's going to put them one step closer to bringing back Joe Biden, that Joe Biden brand of politics. Fast forward to 2018, the primary happened. Some people lost, some people won, but they didn't win. The people they wanted to win didn't win. Remember, the two black governors lost, and they didn't have their blue wave like they wanted to. I said, all right, that's strike two. I said, a third strike. They're going to switch on y'all. Fast forward to 2019. Kamala Harris, all these people are running for president, right? What do people do? They come with the reparations talk. I told people, I said, stop doing the reparations talk. I said, y'all can get a black agenda through. This is the time to get a black agenda through, but reparations is not doable. Anything but reparations. People kept pushing reparations. I told them, I said, reparations this is what's going to happen if you keep pushing it. You're going to have candidates paying lip service to it. Even though they never agreed to do it, the fact that they even paying lip service to it is going to create an environment where if they get one of them get the nomination and they go against Trump is going to just turn the election into a referendum on reparations, saying if you vote for them, you're voting for reparations. Even if they only said they was for a study. People were going to come out in record numbers and vote for Trump. And I said, stop doing this. Y'all beating down all these Democratic candidates. Y'all going to open the door for Biden. And guess what? People kept doing the reparations. They beat Kamala down. They beat Elizabeth Warren down, Cory Booker, everybody else. Beat them down. Andrew Young, whatever his name is, they beat them all down. Here come Buttigieg. Buttigieg is that type of person who's in that Rust Belt, Midwest. He's white. He ain't really with all the black stuff. And then people see the steam he picked up. And they said, all right, we're not going to be able to win with these candidates. They tainted. Because even though we know it wasn't for reparations, the media was portraying them as for reparations. Because if you read the article, the headlines of the article, they say Kamala Harris endorsed reparations. She never endorsed it, but most people just read headlines. So it's like she's tainted. They all tainted. The only people we cannot try to get this black vote no more. We gotta try, and by black vote, like I meant before, that extra, trying to get to Obama levels. We just gotta have to deal with the regular levels of black vote, and the only way we're gonna beat Trump is if we start getting more white voters, and they gotta bring in. That's why they brought in Joe Biden.
Wow. So they basically using Biden as a weapon.
Hello,
Yeah.
hello.
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
On my fault. I got a call.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is what happened. They bring in Biden. Now you see Biden blowing up like a storm. You see him getting the people. Because remember, like I told people before, it's if the Democrats could just take back 3 blue states, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, they're gonna win. They can't. They have made the decision that they cannot rely on black people to get these 3 states. The only way they're gonna get them is they get back a lot of this white vote. So they know that they can't out racist the Republican, but they know they can appeal to enough lower level racists that they can put somebody like Biden in there and pull them back to the Democrat side, because they only need a couple tens of thousands of them, and then Biden will beat Trump.
So, do you think that's the goal is to push Trump out?
Yeah, that's the goal, to get Trump out by any means necessary. And I told people, I said, listen, y'all playing dangerous games. This is what I kept trying to explain to people about politics. Like, nobody's gonna keep losing because y'all niggas keep asking for the impossible. Like I told Mercy L, this will be the equivalent of Mexicans saying, we're not voting for you for president unless you agree when you become president, you're gonna give California back to Mexico. Who the fuck would vote for a candidate who even entertained the idea of giving, matter of fact, not even just California, the whole Southwest back to Mexico? Every state from Texas to California back to Mexico. Who would even vote for a candidate like that? And if people saw that, well, if the Mexicans don't come out at the extra levels that we need them to, because we're not going to support that, what are they going to say? We got to go get that vote from somewhere else because we can't go that far. If we even play that game, we're going to lose everybody else. Remember, there's only 2 parties in America. There's over 320 million people in America. America's the 3rd most populated country in the world. You got 2 parties representing that. There's no way 2 parties can accurately represent that many people. So by definition, a lot of people are being are forced to go with a Democrat or Republican just by that's the only choice you got. So now you got to see the Republicans represent a lot of interests. The Democrats represent a lot of interests. They no way all those other interests are going to keep losing out because one group that's a part of the equation keeps asking for the impossible. They got to be replaced. So if they keep asking for the impossible, we got to replace them. And the easiest way to replace them is just the only reason we not winning is because the people we could get to replace them don't want to fuck with us because we got them. So we boot them to the side, we can get that extra from them, and we can win.
So, go ahead, bro.
Now I'm saying if I'm making sense, or because I don't know if I'm explaining it good. Because you know how you know something in your head, but you don't know if you're explaining it good to people so where they understand it.
Well, what do y'all think of the chat room? Tell me what you see in the chat, bro. Because I see a lot of people listening, and you know, the last joint that we did, the last 2 joints, I don't know if you went and checked them out, but man, people was going hard in the comments, bro. People was going hard in the comments, and
that's good. That's
and
good.
some people, and I'm gonna say honestly, I'm gonna say it's like 50-50. A lot of people agreed with you, and a lot of people disagreed with you. I think it was 50-50.
That's good. That's all we need is a conversation, because that's how we solve problems, by talking to each other and
Fact.
talking to each other with respect. That's why I don't respect none of them other pussy ass niggas, because they all know me. They all know about me.
I mean that make perfect sense. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is about. It's not about who right and who wrong. It's about having a conversation. Go
Yeah,
ahead, bro.
having a conversation so we can get to that who right and who wrong point. Remember, all these pussy ass niggas who got the ear to people, they all know who I am. They all know me. They all know I disagree with them. And I'm not no little nigga, because they all know me and they all take their time out their day to listen to my videos, to throw subs at me. So have the conversation. Have the conversation. I bet you I win. Because they know I'm a win. Because they listen to me. They know I'm right about everything I said. Because I'm just like we said last time, I never lied on anybody. For all the stuff I ever claimed, ever said somebody did, it always came out to be true. Well, I never was wrong about politics. Nobody can say I ever made a prediction and was wrong. And I tell people what's going to happen years in advance. So you can't say I'm copying somebody, because who else is telling people what's going to happen years in advance? telling people how it's gonna go down.
You damn sure did. You told them like
I said, stop playing games. I said, this is the time where black. You keep talking about how important the black vote is. This is the time where y'all could actually get a lot done right now. But y'all gotta ask for stuff that's in reach. You want to get prison reform to change the loan system. Anything, it's all in reach right now. But you're gonna throw away everything trying to talk about reparations. Reparations ain't in reach right now. And even if it was, this is not how you go about it. No, because again, like I told people before, everybody keep talking about all these other groups got reparations. I always pose this question to people when they tell me that. Name me one of those groups who got reparations the way you going about trying to get reparations. Name me one group who went to a presidential candidate demanding that they support reparations for them. It never happened because people know reparations are extremely unpopular. So the only way you're going to actually get it is after the candidate is actually elected, or you got to go through the judicial process. I'm saying that wrong word, but whatever. I'm slurring right now. But the matter of fact, y'all know what I'm talking about. The court system.
right, the
The
judicial.
court. Yes, that's the only
Mhm.
way you're gonna do it because that's the only way anybody has ever done it. No president has ever ran on the campaign of if you elect me, I'm gonna give these people this. Because once you do that, that's a recipe for loss. Like I told people before, how did Bush beat John Kerry in the 2004 election? All Bush did was turn the election into a referendum on gay marriage, saying that this dude is for gay marriage. If you vote for him, gay marriage is going to be legal. So you got to vote for me if you want to keep gay marriage from being illegal. How many people came out who hate Bush but came out and voted for Bush or didn't vote for John Kerry because they didn't want to see gay marriage become legal? And how did gay marriage even become legal? They went through the court system. This is what I'm telling niggas. If you would just have the conversation and get out your feelings, turn your feelings down, you would see I'm telling you everything you would need to know to do what you want to do.
That's a good point. That's a good point because it's something that you said a little while ago when you said everybody feels like they got to either be a Democrat or a Republican. So the whole ADOS movement, what party do they represent?
They represent the Republican Party without even knowing it. Because once you have created an environment, because you attack the Dems and beat them down so much, asking for reparations again, something that can't be done. That you have boosted Trump up, and now you have created. And not only that, you did double wrong. You boosted Trump up, and you now have opened the door back for that old school Dixiecrat crowd to get back into power and come back into prominence. Because remember, like I told you, all these parties represent multiple interests, have multiple factions inside of them, and they all competing for who gonna get their issues put into the forefront. Black people finally got it where they can get their issues to the forefront and had everybody, and niggas dropped the ball. And not only did they drop the ball talking about reparations, following behind these agents and these losers and these dummies and these charlatans, but you just open the door for the what I'm gonna call them the neo Dixiecrat wing of the Democratic Party to now push you out the way, and now they got the energy. Now they got the energy now. And you know damn well you can't ask them for nothing. That's why all this reparations talk, HR 40 and all that stuff. When the last time you heard somebody talk about it? You ain't hear nobody talking about no damn tangibles, no more reparations, no more HR 40, because it's dead. You ain't getting that out of Biden. All niggas doing now is crying about how racist Joe Biden is. A man who was done with politics, was out of politics, a man who would have never been able in a million years, if y'all didn't do what y'all was doing, ever be able to get back into politics, let alone run for president, is now there's a chance he will be president in the year 2020, 2020 president. Because of y'all opened the door for that.
So they was claiming to represent the independent party, but by
They,
default, they was doing the bidding of the Republicans, is what you're saying.
yes, because remember, it's either Democrat or Republican. That's it. It's either Democrat or Republican. If you're doing something to help the Democrats lose, by definition, you're helping the Republicans win. If you're doing something to help the Republicans lose, by definition, you're helping the Democrats win. There is no third choice. There is no third choice.
So those other parties you saying are just, those are just fallacies. That those are just, little things that just make you think they're really real when they're all intertwined into those two.
Yes, because at the end of the day, when the day is over, the Green Party hoops and hollers. They don't get nowhere, and then they ultimately come out and tell everybody, make sure y'all go vote Democrat. The Libertarian Party hoops and hollers, do all that, make it seem like they really want to get a chance to be president, whatever the case may be, and then when it's all said and done, go out and vote Republican.
That's a good ass point because
They tell you
being
go.
that I'm
They
down
go
here.
out. Oh, my fault.
Now go ahead, bro. Finish your statement.
My fault. I didn't mean to cut you off, but like I said, because at the end of the day, the Green Party, they run Jill Stein every year. She don't get nowhere, but ultimately, it's like, all right, I'm on the ballot. You can vote for me, but you know what it is. Make sure that y'all give the votes to the Democrats, because a third party can't help you. A third party, the only way you could ever have a third party, you have to have a fourth party. There has to be two extra parties, because when you have a third party, because the nation is split into Democrat, Republican, once you enter a third party, no matter what you say, this third party is going to lean to the left or lean to the right. And if they lean to the right, they're going to split the vote on the right, and that's going to help the Democrat win. If they lean to the left, they're going to split the vote on the left, and they're going to help the Republicans win. This is how Bill Clinton got elected president twice. Ralph Nader ran as a third-party candidate, but Ralph Nader's views were conservative and right-wing. So the Republican party split the vote, and which let Bill Clinton win by default. Because if Ralph Nader wasn't in the election, all those votes would have went to George W. Bush, the first Bush, George H.W. Bush, or the second time when he ran for re-election, Bob Dole. But because he was there both times, they lost. This is why the Democrats and the Republicans even work together to make sure third parties candidates can't even get involved, because they know that it'll fuck them up. Because if a left wing one get in there, it's gonna fuck the Democrats up. A right wing one get in there, it's gonna fuck up the Republicans. And people know that. That's why a lot of people, even though they like the Green Party or they like the Libertarian Party, they don't support them, because they say, listen, it's better if we just become a faction inside the Republicans or Democrats than try to be a third party, because we're just going to end up hurting our own cause. And again, the only way you could ever have a third viable party in America, it would have to be one on the left and one on the right. So you have two right-wing parties, two left-wing parties. So when the vote split, no people can vote for the Green Party with good conscience. People could vote for the Libertarian Party with good conscience.
Makes sense. It makes sense because I was gonna say I'm out here in NC, and one time I was at a gas station, and this this redneck, he just started talking to me. I was at the counter paying for my stuff, and he just started talking to me. He was being real friendly. And I'm from the town, so we not really used to hospitality like that, because this is kind of like the first time I got out here. But I listened to him, and we started chopping it up about politics. And what I noticed with those quote unquote extra parties, they all look to try to pull for the black vote, because what he was trying to do was he was trying to convince me that he doesn't hate black people because he's white. He was trying to convince me he's not racist, that he's a libertarian, and libertarians are not racist. This is what he was trying to sell me on. Now, I'm listening to him, but I'm like, if you're trying to prove to me that you're not racist, then obviously you're hiding your racism. You're trying to make me not look for it
And there's a
because
lot of,
you know it's there. So
yeah, it's a
it
lot of
made me,
racism.
it put me on game like, hold on. A lot of these libertarians are just Republicans. They hate black people, but they need our vote. So what they try to do is they try to put the mask on, like we're not racist like the Republicans. So vote for us. But then once we get they vote, they go and do the same shit Republicans do.
Yeah, the Libertarian Party is super racist. That's a lot of people. Well, a lot of time that all that whole libertarian stuff was just a sophisticated way to hide your racism because people was against the quote unquote libertarians about we against the government. They're not really against the government because all of them came out and supported Trump and happy what Trump is doing. They was against the government helping black people because magically all the government that they wanted to dismantle was government that helped black people. All that other government shit could stay. And also about that, I want to say this also. An independent or let's say for example, or a third party could possibly win office at the local levels. That's where it would be the easiest at to do. And even at the state level, and you do even have some people doing it at the federal level. But when we talking about president, it's either Democrat or Republican. This is why you got Bernie Sanders, who's not a Democrat, running on the Democratic ticket because he knows if he ran third party like he wanted to, they would just block him. He would get no shine, and he would just basically help the Republicans. So that's why he's running as a Democrat. Trump is not a Republican, but he ran on the Republican ticket because that's more what he aligns to. Because remember, there's only two parties, and everybody, if you're being honest about what's important to you, you'll fall into either one. Because like I said, it may be two parties, but they got multiple factions and multiple different wings in all of them.
Makes sense. It makes sense, and that's how a lot of us really don't understand what's going on. That's interesting, man, because Jill Stein, when she was running, wasn't she running independent, and she didn't get no play. Like I didn't even really hear about the only. You know how I found out about Jill Stein, bro? Through Killer Mike. That's how I even heard of her campaign and what she was trying to do through Killer Mike. Other than that, I never heard of her.
Yeah, and that's why you got that white lady who's from Chicago talking about reparations because they all trying to get as many black people. They're trying to use black people for clout, like her. I would never vote for her, and I think she needs to be called out about that. Who the fuck decides that I want to run for president and my number one issue gonna be reparations? Nobody. You just did that because you know reparations is a sensitive topic to black people, and you figure that I could get enough black people to support me that I could get on debate, get on TV, raise my national and international profile, and then I go into selling books. Because that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people run for president to get clout, so they be on TV and the TV shows have to cover them, and then they drop out and then they start selling stuff, knowing that they're gonna use that energy and that notoriety that they got and that attention that they could get some quick dollars off of it. She know damn well she ain't gonna win when your only thing you known for is saying I want to do reparations. But everybody knows reparations is literally one of the most unpopular things in the country. You did that to play on the heartstrings of black people, hoping that you could get some black votes so you could get on that stage, get enough black people behind you to get on that stage. And you're trying to play black people like they stupid. That's like me running for president saying Mexicans vote for me, I'm gonna return California to you. I know damn well I'm not gonna win promoting that, saying that, but I know I could probably pull on enough heartstrings of Mexicans to get them enough support. Where now they have to put me on TV. They have to let me be on a debate, and they have to cover me now because I'm running for president and I got enough support that you have to let me in the door and let me on the stage.
That's interesting, bro, because I was watching I was watching Killer Mike interview last time he was on the Breakfast Club, and he said that, you know, he decided to stray away from politics, and it kind of struck me the wrong way. And now that you brought up what you just brought up, it kind of makes sense because ever since Killer Mike was running with the political stuff, it propelled his career in music. It propelled his career in business. Like in the interview, he was talking about how him and some older dudes from his old neighborhood came up with their own soda. And I'm like, you could have did that way before you start pushing the political agenda. So what you saying is true, because that's what I feel like Killer Mike did. I feel like he was serious about it, but when he saw the shit that we talking about now, when he saw the ugly face of politics, he said, "Man, let me get up out of here, and I'm gonna just I'm gonna use politics as a platform to keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm gonna go back and just live my life."
Yeah, because if you look at it, Killer Mike is, like you say, he on the Breakfast Club. Why is Killer Mike on the Breakfast Club? He's only there because people know him from politics. Not where's the new music that would justify a Breakfast Club interview? It's only the politics, because he been pushing the politics, and I do believe that he's starting to fall back from it because he is seeing the ugly face of it. Like we go back to Bernie Sanders. Every time since 2016 to now, Bernie Sanders has been. I don't know how I'm gonna put this. I'll say been shying away from calling out white racists because he's realizing that the black vote is becoming more and more unattainable. So the only way he gonna ever get to where he want to get, he gonna have to get more white voters, and the only way he's gonna get more white voters is to shy away from and push away from black issues, because he's never gonna get the black people to support him, and he wants to be president. And the only other way, he got to get more white people on deck for him. This is why when those two black governors lost in 2018, he said some slick shit, trying to make excuses for white racists, saying, well, some white people ain't comfortable with putting black people in positions of power, or making black people governors or something like that, making excuses for white people going out and voting for that racist candidate and promoting him and refusing to vote for a black person. Just recently, when he got booed on the stage at She the People, because somebody asked him, "What you gonna do about white nationalists?" And he, instead of, well, if you become president, and he tried to deflect and start talking about Martin Luther King, and then everybody booed him. But they like, "Yo, we asked you about what you gonna do about white nationalists. Why you not coming out against them, saying that they bad, they wrong?" Like the same stuff people was saying about Trump, he was doing, but he wasn't doing it as bad. Like he didn't call them nice people, but he was like, he didn't want to come out and go in on them either. And Killer Mike was rolling with Bernie heavy, so I know he probably was seeing stuff like that too, and was like, "Nah, I'm gonna fall back."
Yeah, because he was pushing Bernie. He was, and he was one of them talking about reparations too.
Yeah, you see how Bernie Sanders feel about reparations, that he stomped down. Hell no, flat no. Under no circumstances, y'all ain't getting no. I ain't giving y'all niggas no money if I become president. Flat out, not even playing games with it. Straight no.
Facts. That's a fact. That's a fact. So, bro, explain to the people um why you say this whole, the whole ADOS thing is over now. Because I don't really listen to Yvette Cornell and nothing like that. So explain why you saying like everybody is starting to fall back now.
They starting to fall back now because they see that they ain't got the energy. Like they can't. Like again, back to Joe Biden. Joe Biden is blowing everybody out by a country mile and a city block. The only person who he's blowing out the person who's in second place is Bernie Sanders. And anybody who knows politics know Bernie Sanders has no chance of overtaking Joe Biden, because at the end of the day, it's only 7 serious candidates in running on the Democrat side. It's 20 altogether, but only 7 serious ones. Bernie is one of those serious ones, and he's in second place. Everybody else is in single digits, like in the garbage, single digits. If we talking about the national, it's Bernie. All on the two people is Bernie and Joe Biden. Everybody who knows politics know Bernie will never get it, because the DNC is not going to let Bernie Sanders win, because Bernie Sanders is not a Democrat, and it'd be damn if they let somebody who's not a Democrat run on the Democratic ticket. They can't stop him from running as a Democrat, but they're going to stop him from getting a nomination. They're going to do whatever in their power to stop that man from getting a nomination. So you know Bernie is out. So you got to count Joe Biden, and the third place one is actually second place, and then from that point on. Who's in third place? Buttigieg. And behind him is Kamala Harris. They all getting blown the fuck out. So it's looking like this. If it stays like this, which is gonna, Joe Biden is gonna get the nomination, which means, again, like I said in the beginning, you know better than to ask Joe Biden, like I said before years ago, and I said in the video I made a month ago or two before people even knew Joe Biden was running. When Joe Biden runs and officially announces himself, you niggas going you watch your leaders fall back and stop talking about reparations and tangibles because they know better than to ask Joe Biden for any of that. Yvette Carnell knows better because, like I said, Yvette Carnell has a political science degree and she worked in Washington, D.C. She know what type of person Joe Biden is. She know better than to even bring that to him. And now, what I also said in the video, I said, watch how this election is officially over when they get to South Carolina. Because I told people, the primaries opened up in South Carolina. That's what Democrats always thought they primary in South Carolina in February. Joe Biden is blowing everybody out. Like last time I checked, Joe Biden's number in South Carolina in the polls, he's at 46%. Straight blowing everybody out. Blowing everybody out. Joe Biden is gonna win South Carolina, and he's gonna win South Carolina big. And when he wins it big, from that point on, the DNC has already basically anointed Joe Biden, but the cup gonna run over on him. And then when people see that, that's gonna create a Dick Rider effect, and everybody's gonna be like, you gotta vote Joe. We gotta give Joe the nomination, and Joe has to go against Trump. He's the only person who could beat Trump. And this is why Yvette Carnell, because I can't download these videos. I've been meaning to download them and make videos and commentary on the stuff she's been saying. Her and Antonio Moore, because they losing their fucking mind that they seeing these numbers and they know they real. And Joe Biden's gonna take South Carolina. And if he takes South Carolina, it's over. It's over. In February, because it's February 2020. He takes South Carolina, it's over. It's over. It's done. It's done. And they see the polling, how it's going right now, and they see that nothing's pretty much going to change that. Only thing that's going to change that is if it's like nothing. Nothing's going to change that. Matter of fact, the only thing I see in my mind that could possibly change that, even a little bit, that can't change it. What could give him a run for his money is if Kamala Harris and Cory Booker come together and they run together as a ticket. That might give him a little run for his money, but otherwise than that, Joe Biden, smooth sailing. And he's going to most likely choose Buttigieg or Cory Booker to be his vice president. Because they pretty much probably going to drop out after in maybe March or April and then end up saying, I endorse Joe Biden. Maybe even right after South Carolina. Maybe even a little bit before that.
Okay.
Or he might not even pick them. He might pick somebody. It's either those two. He's going to pick Buttigieg, because the way I see it, either Buttigieg or Cory Booker. Or he might just say, I'm going to get a fresh face. A totally fresh face. Because it's like they panicking because, like I told people before, ADOS does not represent all black people. Most black people never heard of you, and the black people that y'all keep talking about, like y'all own the black vote, y'all don't. If anything, y'all could be the extra. But that rank and file black people who go out and vote 90+% by the millions for Democrats every election, you don't speak for them. And they're going to do what they do regardless. And the time where they shine brightest is in the primaries. And the reason people really freaking out, because Yvette thought she was going to have enough energy to co-opt that side, they can't. Because if you look at the Democratic primary for South Carolina, 2/3 of the voters that's eligible to vote in the Democratic primary are black. And about 2/3 of them are old black people who go to church and all that. And they already came out and said, we riding with Biden. So it's like, That's why Yvette is, or everybody, you watching everybody from Professor Black Truth, um, um, the Black Authority, Yvette Carnell, Tone Talk, back to back to back to back to back to back to back videos on Joe Biden. And like I said before, all your videos, all your crying, all your energy is not gonna hurt Joe Biden. He's immune to that. And like I said, and what's going on is happening just like I said it was gonna happen. All these the way y'all brought down Kamala and all those other nominees with these reparations talk questions and all that, y'all not gonna get Joe Biden because one, Joe Biden is smart enough to make sure, like I said in the video, to make sure he goes no place where he could even be asked those kind of questions. If you notice, Joe Biden has not gone to the Breakfast Club, and he's not gonna go to the Breakfast Club. He's not gonna let Charlemagne the God ask him about a black agenda and reparations and all that. Nope. And he only place he's going is like to union rallies and to black churches. That's it. He's staying away from everything else. He didn't go to She the People. He's not going to Breakfast Club. He didn't go to Al Sharpton's thing. He's not going to anything like that. So anybody who even wants to even ask some questions like that, not even gonna get a chance to. And the 94 crime bill stuff is not even hurting them.
Damn.
It's not even hurting them. Just like I said it was. I said y'all not gonna hurt Joe Biden with that. I said Joe Biden, y'all don't know Joe Biden, man. Y'all don't understand. Joe Biden is literally the oldest man active in politics right now. Joe Biden was around for multiple eras. Joe Biden, if I'm not mistaken, was a politician during the Jim Crow era. Joe Biden is older than Trump by like almost like 6-8 years. And Joe Biden and Trump is the oldest person to ever become president in America. Joe Biden, he don't move like an old ass man, but he in his 80s. He's old as fuck. He probably got 60 years, 50, 60 years in politics.
Wow.
And like I said, they brought Joe, like I told people before, the Joe Biden option, this ain't nothing new because when Joe Biden did the 94 crime bill, it's the same reason. Remember, the Democrats start when LB, let me give people a history lesson. Because one, y'all should have been able to understand what I was talking about from earlier. But I'm gonna give the history lesson. When LBJ signed the civil rights bill into law, we know the parties flip and the country flip. You know, after that, it was Republicans straight out. It was only one Democrat elected for president, and that was Jimmy Carter. Like, I'm gonna give the history. After LBJ signed it, Nixon won. Nixon won by the largest voter margin in U.S. history because that was such a white backlash. Because remember, whites were like 80% of the population. So they just all came out and voted for Nixon. Nixon won 47 or 49 states. Then Nixon got resigned because he's a dumbass and the whole Watergate scandal. His vice president becomes president, Gerald Ford. Gerald Ford, the first thing he does when he becomes president is he pardons Richard Nixon so he can never be prosecuted in the future. Everybody turns on the Republicans because of that. So whoever the Democrats was going to win, everybody knew was going to be the winner. Because once the Republicans ran Gerald Ford, I think they ran him or they was talk of it. But whatever, people just wanted to punish the Republicans. So that's how Jimmy Carter got in. Jimmy Carter got in for one term. Here comes Ronald Reagan, blows him out the water. Ronald Reagan gets 2 terms. Then you get Herbert Walker Bush. Bush won. He gets a term. Then he goes up against Clinton. And when he was on his way to go up against Clinton, what did the Democrats see? They saw Republican after Republican after Republican winning. And they said the only way we're going to get back in here is we got to peel some of that white racist vote back to our side. Insert Joe Biden. That's when Joe Biden comes up with all this 94 crime bill and all these other laws, knowing the way white people would see that. And because everybody knew that these laws was gonna fuck black people up and was gonna lead to mass incarceration of black people. Everybody knew it, and it was plain as day. So that was one of their strategies to pull some white voters to the Democratic side to get that low hanging fruit because they know they can never out racist the Republicans, but they would just be racist enough, what we would consider racist, because some people will say, well, that ain't necessarily racist. They was fighting crime and all that other stuff. Well, all right, you feel me? But what we or people like us would consider racist because these were policies that targeted black people, even though some would even say that even though it targeted black people, you had the crack era and these neighborhoods was unsafe and black people themselves asked for this legislation. So how could it be racist? All right, cool. We hear all that. But they brought Joe Biden in to do that, knowing damn well that they was trying to pull some of that racist white vote to them. Like this ain't the first time people brought out Joe Biden to get that, to try to get that the low, what I call the low hanging fruit of racists, like the ones who basically not Klansmen, but they'll follow you around the store or something like that. They
Trailer
don't want,
parks.
they don't, you feel me? To get him, to get that Rust Belt, to get that Pennsylvania person, that Michigan, that Wisconsin, blue collar. You feel me? Get that type. That's the reason why even Obama chose Biden to be his vice president. Like I told people, it was to secure places like Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. Because once Joe Biden signed off on Obama, it made it okay for those other people to say, all right, we gonna roll with Obama. Joe Biden inspected this nigga. He good. So again, they bringing Biden back for a third time. Like, all right, we got to get some of this white vote. Bring Biden. Bring out Biden.
Wow, that's great, man. Man, this politics shit is nuts, man. Like I notice if you really just like me, I'm the type of person. I'm like right now. I'm thinking like, damn, how deep do the rabbit hole go?
Because
Like,
remember,
like everything you explaining is this shit is crazy, but it gets deeper. I could tell it does.
the reason why, like I said, and the reason why they retired Biden and the likes of Biden after Obama won is because finally the populations had switched so much. Remember, back then whites were like 90-80% of the population, and it was 90-80% of the voters. Now whites are 65% of the population. You just can't appeal to whites no more and just win. And plus, there's enough black people and people of color in enough key areas where the Democrats could win by just talking to them. This is why you have record numbers of black politicians running for office. This is why you have politicians going to places like the Breakfast Club. A politician would have never went to something like the Breakfast Club in 1992, 1999. But they here in 2019. Why? Because because black people have become that much more important. This was our time to shine, and niggas dropped the ball and let the fucking neo Dixiecrats back in. Because whether Joe Biden wins or lose, this is the direction. Because if Biden wins, they're gonna say, "All right, They got the hot hand. We got to keep going this way." If Biden lose, they're gonna say, "Well, we didn't go racist enough." All because of this clown ass, you following a bunch of clowns on the internet. Just like I put up that tweet from the NAACP Atlanta office where they said 6 months ago, y'all niggas was Indians, was indigenous. Now y'all ADOS. What YouTube channel y'all gonna follow next? What nigga on YouTube you gonna let play with your mind and not question nothing they saying? Where they just gonna tell you the ABC and you don't even question it. And if somebody say something other than ABC, you attacking them.
Now, that's great, and I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people think that this YouTube shit is a game. A lot of people think that oh, these is just niggas on YouTube talking. Nobody's listening. Nobody cares. Like, people got to understand, man, right now, YouTube is the biggest platform in the world. That's why every corporation in existence right now that's making money has a YouTube channel. So people need to stop thinking that this YouTube shit is a game, because we don't know who's listening to us. Well, we actually do, because that's how they can take, they could not run certain ads on certain streams and certain videos. So people really got to stop taking this YouTube shit as a joke and think that the shit that they say on here is not taking effect in society, because it is. They
That's
don't
a
play
fact.
they don't play Facebook and YouTube videos on the goddamn news for no reason, man.
That's a
That's a
fact.
fact.
And that not only is that a fact, you gotta also remember this is how we got the Russian bots coming through the internet. And yes, the Russian
Facts.
bots was a real story. People think that because Yvette Carnell, that's why she's so disgusting. She tried to make the Mueller report seem like it debunked the Russian bot story, which it didn't. The Mueller report was about whether Trump worked with the Russians or not. It wasn't about whether there was Russian bots. Remember, there's no Republican, Democrat. Everybody agrees that it was Russian. The Russians hacked the election. Not hack the election, but they was running ads, promoting certain YouTube videos, making their own YouTube videos, their own Instagram um um memes and all that to try to influence people, especially black people, to not come out for the Democrats. That's not fake. The story was whether Trump worked with them or not, which Trump didn't. I told people that from day one Trump didn't, and I made a video saying Trump is an idiot because he got himself indicted got himself investigated because he's fucking interfering with the investigation. Like James Comey told Trump, "You're not under investigation. Fall back." He keeps trying to interfere with it, and that's how he got caught for obstruction of justice. Because again, you're the president. You're everybody's boss. So if you start trying to tell people don't investigate or give this one a break, you obstructing justice. That's what this whole thing was about. Trump obstructing justice, which he did do, but he didn't actually work with the Russians because a lot of people believe he worked with them, and I don't believe it. And it's found that and it's shown that he didn't. The Russians did this on their own, for the reason I told everybody they did it. They did it because they just wanted to see Hillary Clinton lose. They didn't
Right.
even they wasn't even in it to help Trump win. Nobody even thought Trump was a serious candidate. All their propaganda was about making sure people don't vote Hillary. The Russians didn't care who won. They just wanted Hillary to lose. But it just worked out, and everything worked out in their favor, like the stars aligned. Not only did they get a chance to help Hillary lose, but the person they wanted to that they when he became a serious candidate that they would have wanted to win of all people was Trump. Trump was the best person who could have won for Russia. Hillary Clinton was the worst person who could have won for Russia, and they made it their business to make sure she lost. Because again, these niggas don't be following the news. The reason why I knew it was the Russians, because I was one of the first people before the news even said it. I said, listen, I'm seeing all these memes, all these videos. Somebody's doing this. This ain't regular people making all these videos. Like when people brought back that clip of Hillary Clinton when she said the super predator, I'm like, that was a clip on C-SPAN in 93. Who the fuck got clips from C-SPAN in 93? Who got that? Like something's going on here. Like all these fancy ass memes. I'm like, yo, and ain't too many tech savvy brothers and sisters in the conscious community that can make put together these crazy ass videos and these crazy ass memes. Who doing this? Who's promoting this? And it was the Russians because they wanted to make Hillary Clinton lose because Hillary Clinton tried to help, or they say that she tried to help overthrow the Russian government in 2011. And they did this out of revenge.
Mm. So
People
the
don't.
so the so the Russian bot shit is real, because the first time I've heard some years back that that there are some people that's all over the internet, Twitter, Facebook. Instagram, YouTube, everywhere that is posing. Some of them pose and have black people pictures, but be pushing a lot of anti-black rhetoric, putting out a lot of like you said, memes and stuff like that. But the first time I ever heard about a Russian bot, you know, and shout out to Real Brother Radio. He's the first one that talked about these Russian bots that I personally heard of, and now I see what he was saying, because you're basically saying what he was saying. The Russians was able to infiltrate using the internet.
Yes, using the internet, using Facebook, Twitter,
Right. Mm-hmm.
Instagram, YouTube. They
Using
was
troll accounts.
using troll accounts,
Mm-hmm.
pretending to be black people, pushing. Well, it was pushing stuff like they was pushing conscious community stuff. Remember, the reason the indigenous movement blew up in 2015 came out of nowhere and blew up in 2015 because the Russians was pushing the indigenous stuff.
Oh,
They would
shit.
most of the indigenous memes you've seen was created by Russians. That everybody was passing around. Those were the Russians made those.
Wow. Wow. Yo,
You can even
that's crazy.
like Jabari. I don't fuck with that nigga Jabari, but Jabari even brought some of them out because I was saying it before Jabari, but Jabari actually showed you because he went to the government website because the government has a list of memes that they identified that was created by Russians, and it was a bunch of conscious community stuff, mainly the indigenous stuff.
Man, that's crazy. That's
That's
God.
that's literally how the indigenous movement blew up. Because remember, I was a part of the conscious. I wasn't a part of it, but I was watching videos. And remember, nobody was talking this indigenous stuff before. You would have a more or two talking about we was always here, or we came here, or we wasn't slaves. But you never heard nobody claim that we was outright Native Americans wearing feathers. Like you never heard nobody claiming that shit. Nobody. And then out the clear
Facts.
blue sky, it's like the biggest movement in the community. It's everywhere. How? It was the Russians.
And they had an internet nigga and a internet nigga, a black dude on the internet using him as the fucking face, Dan Calloway.
That's how he got so big because they were sending so much traffic his way. Because they were sending traffic his way,
Makes
and
sense.
not only sending traffic, they wasn't just sending traffic his way. It was that they put out so many memes that people started looking for the indigenous stuff, and that's how they found Dan Calloway.
Right?
That's how it blew up out of nowhere. Because remember, like I told people, because people always keep saying, why would the Russians do that? The Russians did that because Hillary Clinton, according to the Russians, but most likely is true, Hillary Clinton interfered in Putin's election. Most people don't know this. Putin almost there was almost a civil war in Russia in 2011 because Hillary Clinton and them interfered in the election, tried to make Putin lose. And the Putin and them came back on Hillary for revenge.
Right. Right. That's some it sound like some this sound like some diehard type shit with these Russians, man, and them trying to get revenge. Sound like some diehard type shit.
Bro, I'm not lying to you. Anybody can look it up right now. Like, if I'm lying, I'm flying. Look, type in 2011 Russian election and watch. You see it come up. You'll even see the video of Putin blaming Hillary Clinton for the chaos that almost happened. Because Putin was going to win the election, but Hillary and them stole the election from him, and he had to steal it back. Like, a bunch of people got killed and everything. People thought it was going to be a civil war in Russia. And then what he finally took back control, stabilized things underneath his control, and he did a press conference of blaming Hillary Clinton by name. And Hillary Clinton did a press conference denying that she had anything to do with it.
So they made sure that her ass ain't win. So it was never really about um, you know, quote unquote white America not wanting a woman president. It had nothing to do with that.
It everything played a part in it because you had a lot of white people who didn't vote for Hillary because they did because she's a woman, point blank, period. But they wasn't counting on that vote. Hillary was counting on that extra black vote that Obama got to get to black people to come out like at Obama levels and basically carry her through. And people knew that that was her basically her strategy to win. And that's why you had Bernie Sanders was the first person to do because the Russian bots were already set up to attack her. But the line of attack by using the 94 crime bill and going after her directly via 94 crime bill and focusing on black people, they got that from Bernie Sanders. That's why I don't fuck with Bernie. Because Bernie and them was the first ones who started it. Like the Russians was already attacking her, but they was attacking her a different way. But they decided to go through the black people specifically and direct all pretty much most of their energy directly at black people because more than 50% of the stuff was directed at black people. The reason they did that it was because they seen that it was getting that it was picking up steam when Bernie supporters was doing it. Like they used black people, they lied to black people. Bernie and them knew for a fact that Hillary had nothing to do with the 94 crime bill, like they was trying to make it seem like she did. And on top of that, Bernie Sanders voted for the 94 crime bill. That's another reason why I was like, fuck this nigga Bernie, he's foul. All this, y'all trying to drag Hillary Clinton, talking about black people should never vote for her. She did the 94 crime bill, knowing damn well she didn't do it, knowing damn well you voted for it. And you knew it was racist because you gave a whole speech in Congress about how racist the 94 crime bill was. And then you went out and voted for it.
Damn. Like I said, the rabbit hole goes deeper and deeper, man. This shit is crazy, but it makes sense now because they use those bots to basically steal a vote because they already knew that that's what Hillary was going for. And I already knew because remember she was showing up to churches. Remember she pulled the hot sauce out of her back pocket and
Went to the Breakfast Club,
right,
everything.
everything. And later on, even Obama said that he was rooting for Hillary and was trying to push black people to vote for Hillary.
Remember, Beyonce, Jay-Z, everybody came out for Hillary. Everybody was like, vote Hillary, vote Hillary, vote Hillary.
Yep, facts. Facts. And that's when the whole super predator thing came out.
Yep.
Because that was one of the things that made me say I wasn't voting for neither one of them. To me, it was like pick your poison. So I didn't
Yeah.
I didn't vote at all.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't vote at all. That's why, that's what I said. She was counting on that extra black to carry her through. Remember, she lost those 3 key states by about a couple thousand votes. A couple thousand votes that people was sure that black people was gonna come and do.
Wow. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense, man. See, this politics, man. Politics is real. Like people think politics basically is what governs our life, man. Everything we do is it has some political aspect to it. So I'm glad you brought this up, bro. I'm glad you came back through and you bringing this to the people because, like you said this was gonna happen. You said this was gonna happen. So isn't Umar ADOS?
No, Umar is not ADOS. He's not repping ADOS. But I know that nigga need to clean his room.
Yo, yeah, yo, that video was crazy, bro. And he tried to he tried to say he was in the middle of moving. I said, this dude, man, this is crazy. This dude is out of hand.
And he said it like 100 times. Like that was gonna convince people. All that garbage on the floor.
Straight garbage, like trash, like a bunch of chicken spot boxes. Like he done went to Jimbo's 300 times. He had a bunch of styrofoam cups on the floor, bags of trash. Like he's a hoarder. That was crazy, bro.
That definitely was. That nigga Umar is hurt. I know he gonna want to fight. I know if he even knew how to flag, he'd be flagging the shit out of me right now. Ooh, watch when other people get a hold of that clip. Watch. It's gonna be niggas gonna fucking flame. It's gonna be flame on for him.
And
Nigga fat and sloppy. Nigga literally cleaned one corner of the room and pointed the camera towards him in that one corner, making it surrounded by a bunch of stuff from Africa.
facts. That shit crazy, man. That shit is crazy. That shit is crazy.
He didn't even realize that camera turned. That bullshit ass camera turned the other way.
And it stayed there.
And you see him, and then when he realized it, because he must have been watching on his other phone, he must have seen the chat, bro. He tried to point the camera to the ceiling, and you heard him. He was trying to figure out an excuse in his head. He was like, y'all wasn't supposed to don't worry about that, y'all. I'm
And he
moving.
was trying to flip the camera to go back to him the
Yeah,
whole
he said
time.
he
He was panicking.
he even said that, yo, my camera is messing up, y'all. I don't know what it's doing. Y'all wasn't supposed to excuse the mess. I'm moving. Nigga said, excuse the mess. I'm moving.
I'm in the process of packing. yo, yo, that shit was crazy. I'm like, yo, I had to take a little inhibition about that, bro. But I'm gonna ask you about this, and then I don't want to keep you too long. But what do you think about the abortion thing? And how
Yeah.
does this tie in? Does this have anything to do with Biden or anything like that?
Nah, this is just Republicans doing what they do, and it's like they stricten it. They trying to get rid of these abortion laws. They pro life, and some people say that they believe that they doing this because a lot of white people getting abortions now, and they see that that's contributing to the white population shrinking. So that's why they doing it. Because you got like record numbers of white women getting abortions. Remember, what was her name? Margaret Singer, who was the one who was pushing for abortions, who was only meant for black people and retarded. Excuse me, I don't mean to say it like that, but handicapped children, whether they was mental or physically handicapped, they were supposed to get aborted, and black babies were supposed to get aborted. It was supposed to be like a form of population control. Like most people don't even notice, Margaret Stinger turned against abortion once she started seeing a bunch of white women was getting it for healthy white babies. She said, "Oh no, we gotta get rid of this shit."
Right, her eugenics plan backfired, basically.
Yeah. Now she turned against it. She was like, "Nah, gotta get rid of this." And that's
Mm,
what this is, and that's what people are saying. The reason why they signing all these anti-abortion laws is not just because they want to appeal to their religious conservative base, but it's also about they trying to do everything in their power to make sure more white babies is born, because too many white women just getting abortion for regular white babies that ain't got nothing wrong with them.
right, because they ran with that whole "it's my body, it's my choice" stuff.
Yeah. It was like, that was some propaganda bullshit that we were supposed to send to black people. That wasn't supposed to be for y'all. Y'all wasn't supposed to go for that.
Right. So what do you think about the black women who actually agree with that shit? What do you think about that, bro?
I just feel like, it's propaganda. We all agree with something that we ain't supposed to, because you living in this country and that's what you're getting bombarded with. It's easy to get put in the trick bag. Because if you let somebody convince you that a baby in your stomach is not a person because it's in your stomach, you out your damn mind. You in the trick bag. Knowing damn well that's how we all started out. And if your mother had gotten an abortion with you or anything like that, you wouldn't be here right now. So you can't tell nobody that that's not life. And on top of that, once once a sperm and an egg fuse, that's when you get a new set of DNA, and DNA is the building blocks of life. Wherever there's DNA, there's life, and if you have new DNA, you have new life. Point blank. Period. That's science. Anybody arguing against that is using philosophy.
Facts. So what do you what do you what do you say to the women who says, well, I was raped and impregnated, so I should keep the baby?
They that's kind of different, but you know, a lot of times people bring that up in this, and it's basically,
That's why I brought
uh,
it up, bro.
yeah, I'm saying, but a lot of young people bring that up and they're not being honest, because not talking about you, but I'm talking about people, because I know you playing devil's advocate, but people who bring that up not being honest, because less than 1% of all abortions happen for rape, life of the mother, or fetal defect. Less than one. That means 99.5%, because I don't know what the point is, but I know 99 point something percent of all other abortions is just women going in there saying, I don't want the baby. So it's like, we when the percentage is that low, you might we might not ever run into that scenario, and you can't try to justify 99% of people doing something based on some 1% shit, because we could create two laws where if that's the case, you can go do that. But everybody else who's just saying, oh, I just want to do it because I want to do it, nah, you can't. But you know, at the end of the day, like, it's out there now, so a lot of people, whether it was a lie, it started out as a lie to convince black people that, because there's too many of them, but now it is what it is. Some people just believe it, and that's their truth now, and it's like there's nothing you could do about it.
Right. And and see, it makes sense that they want to outlaw the shit now because a lot of the Republicans, a lot of them are they Christian, and they follow the whole Bible thing, so they feel like, you know um it's really a crime. It's really a sin to get an abortion. And I think that's what a lot of people is trying to stand on too. But
That's what I said. I said you got your people out there who are religious, who got your religious conservatives who like, listen, we don't want it because we believe it's a sin. But you do have a lot of people out there supporting it now because they just want to try to keep the white population as high as possible. Like, they're doing everything in their power to keep the white population, get the numbers up.
right. And it goes back to the political discussion. It goes back to what you were saying, how there's enough black people now in these certain states where a black vote can basically win over a candidate in a specific region. So they got to get their numbers up. They got to have more children to aggregate the white vote. That makes
Yeah.
sense, bro.
Yeah, that's because the reason that is because, remember, most people don't notice Mitt Romney got more white people to vote for him by percentage and number than any candidate in the history of America, and he still lost to Obama. The white votes, because there used to be a time when the white vote could single-handedly win whatever. Everybody else didn't matter. They might have a matter in certain local areas or state levels, but like when you start getting to like the president, only thing that matters is the white vote. Now you have Mitt Romney get the record number of white votes. No no white man has nobody running for president has ever had this many white people vote for them by with percentage and actual number in the history of America, and he still lost to Obama. And John McCain is like in the top five. That's how many white people came out and voted for John McCain, and Obama still won. He
Right.
won twice. Like, and he didn't just win; he won by blowouts.
Facts.
He won by
Facts.
blowouts. Clear, spanked them both times. So that was a shock to the system. That it was like we maxed out the white vote. Ain't nobody gonna get as many white voters by percentage and number than Mitt Romney did in 2008. Oh no, matter of fact, what year was that? That was 2006. What was it? It was 2008. Dad, when did Obama won? He ran the '08.
The first time in '08.
No, '08, 2012. 2012. ain't nobody gonna get more. Like the Republicans was like, we maxed out the vote. That's why everybody was like Hillary Clinton gonna be the next president. Like she gonna ride that Obama wave into the White House. It's over. It's like it's over. Like we'll never see another Republican president again because they can't. It's not enough white people, and we know y'all. All y'all do is pander to white people, and ain't enough of them no more. It's over. It was like Obama got 2, Hillary gonna get 2, and we don't know who's gonna get 2 after that, but we know they're gonna be a Democrat. That's why when Hillary lost in 2016, it threw a monkey wrench into everything. It threw a monkey wrench into everything. Like people don't even know like the ramifications of that loss. That we're gonna be living with that we're gonna be living with that for like the next 40 years. And if Trump get a second term, that's Jim Crow 2.0.
Right. And what do you say about the Caucasian people who want Trump out? What do you say about that?
Yeah, remember, all white people ain't racist, so you know it's a lot of people who want them out, and it are some people who are racist, but they still want them out because they put economics or they put their sexuality before that. Because you got a lot of gay whites who are racist, but they care more about gay issues than they care about racist issues. So they'll vote the gay issue. The gay issue will come before the race issue, and you have white people who care more about economics. That's why I said that's why you bring Joe Biden in, because Joe Biden's going to come with democratic policies that help the middle class and the working class. But he's not with all that quote unquote social justice warrior stuff, especially for black people. So he can pull those racists. Some of those people who low hanging fruit racists, where they not all Klansmen, hell Hitler with it, but they don't like black people nonetheless. And they will vote Democrat if the Democrats give them enough incentive to. So that's why you have a lot of them who want Trump out. So they thinking about their pocket, they think about their sexuality, or they just wasn't racist, or they just not a Republican. Or they just want Trump out because they see Trump is fucking with the country really bad. Like another thing that people got to understand is that it's not just about the domestic, it's the foreign. Trump is about to trying to start a war with Iran. A war with Iran, there might have to be a draft because when you go to war with Iran, that ain't just Iran. You're gonna have to go to war with Iraq. You're gonna have the war in Afghanistan going to heat back up. Syria, Lebanon. There's gonna be war in Yemen, which is already is. The Gulf states, Saudi Arabia, Israel. That whole region gonna go up in flames if you attack Iran. The whole region. And it ain't enough drones and aircraft and cruise missiles to make up for the manpower that's going to be needed to fight that war. That's another reason people want Trump out of here. They seeing what he's doing in foreign policy. He putting everybody in jeopardy. Like niggas don't want to have to get drafted to go fight in Iran.
Basically, he's he's fucking up business. He's fucking up the way things run, and they show that, in the mafia. They'll knock one of their own off, or you know get rid of their own if you fuck up business. Nobody's, like they say, nobody's bigger than order, and Trump acts like he's bigger than order.
That's what I'm saying. That's why a lot of people want Trump out. They want him out. That's why I said they brought back Joe Biden. They're going to get Trump out by any means necessary. They want him out because it's like he's got the trade war with China, a trade war that's increasing the deficit in America we got the highest deficit we ever had in American history. Like you keep intensifying this trade war, things are going to get super expensive for the everyday American. It's already hard enough to make it because like people ain't really getting paid that much because America does need a raise, and things are getting more and more expensive, and inflation. You keep fucking with them, things are gonna just keep getting more and more and more and more and more and more expensive, and then that's gonna hurt a lot. That's hurting a lot of people. You even got China who doing targeted hits on areas that's pro Trump, where they making life more expensive for them.
Right.
Because it's like products that come from areas that are pro-Trump, that voted for Trump, that they put in tariffs or stopping those products from even coming into China. So people losing jobs, people losing money. Trump is fucking up everything, and nobody's eating off of it. Like Trump just did a fucking tax cut for the richest people in the country, and he just got rid of the earned income child credit. I think that's why a lot of people income tax checks was smaller than ever, because he giving billionaires tax cuts and he taking from regular people. They're like, you out of order. You got to get the fuck up out of here. That's what make Trump the stupidest motherfucker in the world. That's why I'm convinced he's the stupidest person who ever occupied the White House. No cap. He got to be. You squandered a perfect opportunity. You could have been the next FDR, the next Eisenhower. You could have been the next anything. Like, you had the opportunity. You could have been, fuck them. You had a chance to be the first Trump. But people would be like, oh, I want to be like Trump. You had everything you needed and you squandered it trying to pad your own pockets, which you could have did and nobody would have said nothing about it. You could have used this to get rich, been a kleptocrat, but also helped America. You didn't have to do a $1 trillion tax cut for the rich. You didn't have to spend all this time trying to get rid of a fucking Obamacare just because Obama passed it. You could have just made Obamacare better and called it Trump care, and nobody would have knew the difference and nobody would have cared. You could have did an infrastructure project. Like, you see Trump just signed off on a $2 trillion infrastructure project. You should have did that since day one. Now you're trying to move correct because you see that Joe Biden's coming and he could take all your thunder, because Joe Biden basic message is make America great again. All the stuff Trump promised to do, Joe Biden is saying, I'm going to do that. And people know that Joe Biden is a Democrat, and Democrats do have the ability to do that. Remember, the Democrats are the ones who built the world's largest middle class. The reason you have so many rich white people, and the fact that you have so many rich white people, so many middle class, working class white people, the biggest middle class the world ever seen. When you just talk about white people, the Democrats did that. They built that. And they can do it again.
Facts. So I see some questions in the chat. I appreciate y'all putting the questions. I ain't forget y'all. I'm gonna ask you a few questions, bro, and then we could close it out because I know I see you busy.
Yeah, I got my son woke up. Like, he making noise. He just woke up.
Yeah, I see he real active. So I ain't gonna keep you too much longer, bro. But
Yeah.
shout out to brother Rob. He asked, does no abortion means we will have less sex?
No, people gonna keep having sex because it's gonna be like the old school. Remember, when abortion wasn't legal, people was having sex and they just went back alley abortions, or people just drop babies off at the firehouse. People gonna still do what they do. Like, that ain't gonna stop nothing. That just gonna mean more girls gonna make sure they run and get that depot shot. Make sure they get that make sure they shit is in order. Or you're gonna have more people trying to push females down the stairs so they miscarry. You already know it. You already know. I mean, I'm from the old school. I ain't that old, but I'm an old soul and I hanged around old people. So I already know what it is. You feel me? People ain't gonna have less people ain't gonna have less sex. Granted, there might be a few more extra babies. There's gonna be more extra babies born, but people who really want that abortion, who got that in their mind, they don't want that baby, they're gonna find a way to get rid of it. They always do.
Facts. Let me see. I saw some other questions. Bless One asked, did the House of Representatives get what he said? Did the House of Representatives get reacted copy of the report? I guess he's talking about the Mueller report.
He said
Oh,
unredacted copy.
unredacted. Pardon me.
Unredacted.
Mm-hmm.
They still didn't get one, but it's not going to pretty much change anything. It's going to say it's going to be stuff we already know about Trump. Trump is a criminal. Trump is a crook. Trump done broke a million laws, but at the end of the day, he didn't collude with the Russians. and the what you call it, and no matter what, the Senate Republicans, because the Republicans control the Senate, they're not going to impeach on Trump, no matter what.
Right, right. So another question is, how do these people who don't like the government want the government to police a woman's body?
Um, Pure is because they do like the government. Remember, when people say they don't like the government, they basically talking about the parts of the government that protect black people. Because nobody got a problem with a local and state government making all these racist laws and a local police gunning down black people. That when it's that, people love government. When it's the, you feel me? But when it's government doing something they don't like passing civil rights bills, enforcing civil rights legislation, now we hate the government, and the government's too big, and it needs to get. And we got to talk about states' rights.
Okay, okay, yeah, I'm here. Let me see if y'all have any more questions. Think I saw one more. I think that's it. If y'all have any more questions for Haven, man, we're not gonna keep him too much longer. Go ahead and put y'all questions in the chat. We'll take like two more questions. Then I'll let bro grow. Oh, they want to know your email. Bless one. Want to know your email.
Um, it's blood red sweeper at gmail.com. So it's the word red, the word blood, the word sweeper at gmail.com. And just tell him that if he can't get through to me, just hit me up on my YouTube channel, like comment and drop a comment in one of the videos, and I'll see if I get to it. And I'll just give my email address out like that. I'll try to put it, I'm gonna try to start putting my email address in the description box too, so people could find it. And if he can't find it, whatever, he can always go to my channel, YouTube channel, and hit me up on Twitter, Facebook. I'm still trying to get back into my Instagram, and I'll hit you back. If I get your information, I hit you back, and we can chop it up like that. We can talk about, if I'm available, I'll come talk to you on your YouTube channel, or we could just talk in the DMs and whatever.
Cool, cool, cool. So, oh, all right, he said good looking. Brother Rob asked, when are we going to do that bill on a reconstruction period?
What he said?
He said,
Oh, yeah, yeah. We could do that, Bill. Like if you seen the last promo video I did for the Sheep Stay Sleep video, I'm just now reading a new reconstruction book right now. Like we got a lot to talk about on the reconstruction era. Like we could see how like that, because like again, like the title of the book said, that's what made me even want to get that book. It said the most progressive era in the US history, which it was. Reconstruction was the most progressive era for our people. We could do that, Bill. With if I tell Bro Rob, if he want to, we could schedule that for like next week, and we could do it on your channel, bro. If you available, we could do that, because like he could talk about it, I could talk about it, because there's a lot of figures that people don't know that need to be talked about. I want to talk about how people always try to flip, how the tactic of flipping the script on black people. Every time black people try to do something for ourselves, people start talking about, what about this one, that go back to Reconstruction. Because people used to say that back in Reconstruction. They used to attack the Freedmen's Bureau and say, well, why you ain't helping poor white people? Why you ain't helping women? Why you only helping black people? Black people ain't the only people that's hurting America. Why you only want to do stuff for black people? People didn't even know that. Even though the Freedmen's Bureau didn't only help black people, they did help poor white people. But you get the point of what I'm saying. Like every time black people try to get something going, it's everybody want to bring up everybody and their mama.
Right.
We could
Yeah.
talk
So
about we could talk about all that. We could talk about with something else I wanted to mention too about the Freeman's Bank. What really happened with the Freeman's Bank? Because most people think the money was stolen. It wasn't. Well, yeah, we could talk about the bank. We could talk about the Klan coming up. You could talk about black politicians, the Louisiana Reconstruction Constitution. We could talk about all that.
well, I hope you heard that, brother Rob.
Tell
Hope you
tell
heard
brother
that, big
Rob
bro.
to hit me up on the email or hit me up on social media or just hit me up in the comment section so me and him could get a little behind the scenes bill so we could decide what we want to actually talk about and I could present something, he could present something, and we can help people like that because Reconstruction is a very important period in our history, very important.
Facts.
And the fact that and that's why I draw a lot of parallels between Reconstruction and now because black people had because it wasn't our fault. It was Abraham Lincoln who got assassinated, and you had a racist who became president. So he threw a lot of salt in the game. But that was the time that when things was gonna go right for black people, it was gonna go then. But because it went wrong, it hurt us for the next 100 years, 150 years, hurt us even to this day. And that's the same thing we got right now with this president stuff going on, where we allow people to still keep like Yvette Carnell and them trying to get people emotional, who works for a white nationalist group whose whole purpose is to keep the white population the white population high. Again, people don't want to address the fact that she works for white nationalists. People keep trying to brush it off like she's just having a meeting with them or she's just sitting down talking with them. No, she works for white nationalists, and she's trying to guide black people off into the wrong damn direction, knowing that this is the crucial time that we don't get it right now. It's going to get dangerous. Like the Republicans already got the Supreme Court. The two oldest people on the Supreme Court are both Democrats. They could die in the next 4 years, realistically. And if they do, and Trump is still elected, that's game over. Because even if we do get a president who loves us and everything, the Supreme Court is just going to overturn everything he want to do. Like that's why we got to get this right. People think it's just 4 more years of Trump. It's not 4 more years of Trump. It's 40 more years of Trump through the Supreme Court that he put together. That if you allow him to get another 44 years, or just you even allow him to get these 4 years. But we could do that, draw a lot of parallels to today, and we could just give a history lesson. There's a lot of important black people that need to be named. We could talk about how black people got their names, how every black last name ain't a slave name. Like if your last name is Taylor, Smith, or something like that, that might not be a slave name. That might be a name that actually is a free name, because when black people got free, they made their last name their occupation. A lot of black people worked as tailors. A lot of black people worked as smiths, blacksmiths, ironsmiths, you feel me? So we could talk about the last names. What does freedmen, and free mean? Because we had a lot of black people who last name was free man, and freedom, and free man, and freedom. Yeah.
Facts. I know what you're saying, Freeman, because
Yeah.
a dude I grew up with, his last name is Freeman.
Yeah, and what that means. Because
Mm-hmm.
freemen and freedmen don't mean the same thing.
Right.
But they both two black last names, though. Historically recognized black names. And while more black people don't got that last name and everything.
So yeah, brother Rob, Haven is down with it. Just hit him up. Like he said, hit him up in the comment section, and then y'all could proceed from there with the conversation, bro. And I can't wait till y'all do that presentation. You know what I'm saying? And y'all could decide where y'all want to do it. Y'all could do it on Brother Rob channel. Y'all could do it over here. It don't matter. I just want the information, and I want the information to be put out there to the people. So it don't matter to me, bro.
Yeah, so I'm about to call it the night real quick. But thank you for having me again, bro. Again, anybody, if you got any questions that we didn't get to, you put them in the comment section. I make sure to try to check it out, to try to answer it. And like I said, I don't do this to be clout chasing, nothing like that. I do this because I want to see what's best for the people and I want to help the people. So I'm always available when people can hit me. I hit you back when I can. I'm busy, you know, I got a lot of kids, I got a job, got other things to do. I don't do YouTube professionally. But I do make it my business to try to put as much positive and correct information out as much as I can. But bro, thank you for having me. You know, everybody, good night.
Same to
And
you, bro.
you know, like whenever, bro, Rob hit me up. Everybody, bless one. Whoever asks for my email address, you know, just hit me up. All right,
No doubt, bro. I appreciate you, man.
all
As
right, one,
always, bro.
all
Peace.
right, peace.
So that's my man Haven Bullish, y'all. That's my man right there, y'all. As always, you know, bringing the facts, man. Bringing the facts. You know, I know y'all gonna go crazy in the comment section. Do y'all thing, you know, but this was another great one. He definitely brought the information. He definitely you know what he said, you know, it came to fruition, man. So, you know, if you leave any disagreements or whatever down in the comment section, I appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight. Um, hit him up if y'all want to hit him up. His channel is Haven Bullets Awarekiss. Um, hit him up. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put his channel in the chat room. Yeah, Haven Bullets Awarekiss. I'm gonna type it in the chat room. Y'all just type it in y'all search engine on YouTube and go subscribe. You know, hit him up. Go check out his content. I appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. I will be back tomorrow with Sunday Night Heat open panel. You know, we could talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. Um, I appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Shout out to all my mods for keeping the chat tight. Shout out to all the donators. I appreciate y'all as always. I'm your host DS1 Ross of Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Remember, y'all, we gotta heal before we build. We gotta heal before we build. Catch y'all tomorrow on the Sunday Night Heat. Peace.